Hey guys, this is Dahlia helping professionals with international careers. And we are going to continue the trend today talking about how to figure out what it is that you are meant to do. So sometimes we call that your plan A, the thing that you really want, your purpose, the thing that's going to make you happy and fulfilled and just like you're really delivering the value that you're meant to be delivering to the world, like you're on track. And I get this question so often, how do I figure out what that thing is? And this week I got a specific question from LinkedIn from Ali. And so I thought instead of, typing a message back to her, I will just make a video message back, and that way everyone can watch it. And I know I've been getting the same question or similar questions from many of you. So I'll just respond to everyone all at once. So the question is, hey Dahlia, I was looking at your LinkedIn profile and your experience is astounding. Thank you, Ali. I'm not really looking for anything at the moment, but what I would like to ask is how you started in this industry. I'm still in my undergrad and I'm exploring options for my future studies. I'm majoring in international development and minoring in journalism and would love to combine the two. I love everything you seem to be doing, and I'm wondering how you figured out that was what you were meant to do. I'd love to hear from you again, and honestly, I love all the experience that you have. All right, so this is a great question because it has been asked not only by people who are studying right now or choosing what to study, but also from a lot of other professionals of all ages with all kinds of experience, and they're all asking how can I figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do to make sure that I don't waste time doing things which, okay, everything is a great life experience, etc., right? But how can we get on track so that the things that we're doing are actually helping us towards our greater purpose, our greater goal, and we're not going, all the way like this in life to hopefully get to where we actually want. So if you haven't watched the previous videos that were made by this, I'll add the links. So we've already been discussing how to figure out what your plan A is, how to figure out what your goal is. So if this is your struggle, definitely check out those videos. When it comes to me personally and how I figured out my own path, I'm happy to share that with you, of course, in case it'll be useful. I do want to warn you, you have to be a bit careful, right, when you ask people about personally what they did. So we often will go to people, we'll ask them, okay, how did you get your job? I love, what it seems like you're doing, and we like to ask people how they got to where they are. And this is a great question to ask, don't get me wrong, but you do want to be careful and take specific experience with a grain of salt, because there are so many ways to get to where you want to go, and often people will share their way and it will look like they just got there because they were lucky, and you don't want to be stuck thinking that you're only going to base your strategy on luck, right? You really want to make sure you have a real strategy and that you're not following people who just get lucky and don't really know where they got there, didn't follow a real strategy, because then you don't know if that's really gonna work for you. So, that being said, in my case, how did I figure out what I wanted to do? So it was a series of events, right? I took the kinds of things that I knew I was passionate about, the kind of things I knew I enjoyed doing. So I ended up settling on journalism because I knew that I wanted to be creating something. And with journalism, I knew I would be, either writing articles or creating videos. I would be delivering a story. I had to write the story or film the story, that kind of thing. So that is what I liked about it. The other thing is that I knew that when I had to go and interview people, that really got me out of my comfort zone, because it wasn't so easy for me to get out there and talk to people in a way. I mean, I do like talking to people, but I found that every time I would go and interview someone, it just pushed me out of my comfort zone, and then that gave me this rush of excitement that I had gone out of my comfort zone and talked to them. So that was another reason. I also thought that it was something that would allow me to have skills that I could use in a lot of different areas. So everyone was saying how the journalism industry is dying, etc. And I thought, well, even if journalism is dying, then I can take those skills elsewhere. So that was really how I decided to study journalism. And then after that, I did end up taking those skills elsewhere. I ended up going more onto the communication side, where I figured, okay, I do love communicating. I want to tell stories. And the important thing to me is not necessarily to be doing a journalistic piece, but I want to be communicating a message that I believe in. So that is how I got into communicating messages for international development type issues, or sometimes other issues that I do believe in. So that is my story. But does my story really matter? Not necessarily. So your path is going to look really, really different. And that's why I want everyone to really focus on themselves and not just focus on the people around them. So you can look around yourself for examples, absolutely. Always learn from everyone around you, but just be careful about letting that limit you as well, because like we also discussed in a past video, you are the product of the 5 people closest to you, who you spend the most time with. And what happens if those people are not doing the thing that you really want to be doing? Then you're limiting yourself to those people. And so that's why when you're asking people about their experience, definitely collect that and collect their methods and utilize that, but don't let those things limit you in any way. So if someone tells you, oh, you definitely, I got a degree in such and such an area, so you'll have to get the degree as well, or it was a long hard struggle for me to get there, so it's going to be a long hard struggle for you as well. I know back when I was doing my degrees, our professors would tell us, well, good luck guys, journalism is a dying industry, you'll be lucky if you can get anything. And they were so negative, and in the end there is so much you can do with your journalism degree. And it's the same with other degrees that you might have, where people are telling you, okay, that degree is useless. In fact, when I decided to study journalism, I thought I was going to go for something that would be a bit lower paid, that would have less job prospects, and I thought, okay, I know this will be tougher, but I know it's the right thing. But if I really wanted to go into a sector where I was sure to find a job and I would have higher pay, that kind of thing, then I would go into science. This was what I thought. And then I remember when I was doing my master's in London, I covered this, I was doing a course on health journalism. So I went to cover a protest that scientists in London, it was the British scientists who were running this protest to complain about the lack of funding, or the cuts to funding for scientific research, and how they weren't going to have jobs anymore. And when I saw that, I just thought, all of us think we're in competitive industries where there are no jobs, where it's so hard, and we just can't accept that we can't accept those things as limiting factors. You really do need to just go for what it is that you want to do and make it work. Because no matter what you select, even if you select for the option that you think will be the easier option, guess what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be competitive everywhere. People are going to tell you the industry is dying everywhere. You just cannot accept those sorts of limitations, or even, shall we say, excuses. You have to just go for what it is that you really want. Now, that being said, yes, you need a strategy. So this is where you can meet the people who say, oh, I just want to be, I don't know, what's one of those typical jobs that we think is impossible to make it in? Probably, I just want to be a musician, or I want to be a famous actor. Those are probably the most stereotypical examples, right? Where someone's really passionate about usually a form of art or something like that. And then they just go for it, and then down the line you see that they're still waitressing or something like that, because they've never managed to make an income doing the thing that they really wanted to do, what their passion really was. And so obviously you can't just blindly follow your passion, but you do need to get clear on what that passion is, and then find a strategy, and you need to find the right path so that you can pursue that passion and make it work for you in your life. So it's not a matter of following your passion blindly, but do not go for your plan B or C or D because you think it's going to be easier, because it won't. And especially when you're not passionate about the path that you choose, that's just going to make it even harder. So all paths are hard in life, And if you choose the one that you're not passionate about, it'll just be harder. So definitely go with the one that you really are passionate about, and then you have to find a way to make it work so that yes, you can survive, you can make an income, and so that you can really be bringing value to the world and not just doing something you love, but not actually making a kind of an impact. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm always a bit worried about giving my own example about things because whatever path I took doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. So that's why it's really important never to compare yourself to someone else. Compare yourself to yourself and get very clear on your own goals. And if you think about really successful people, like people who have done amazing things, they didn't necessarily have anyone to model themselves after. They've done something unique. They've done something that hasn't been done before, and that's one of the things that makes them so amazing. Just think about some of the incredible inventions that we have today, or think about think about computers and how we now have computers and stuff like that, and even the fact that we have airplanes. Like if the inventors of these things had looked around and said, okay, what did other people do to, I don't know, what did Edison do to invent the light bulb? Then we would only have light bulbs, we would have no airplanes. So you do have to dream beyond what other people have done. You can utilize other people's examples, but you really want to carve out your own path and be your own version of success. So I hope that that was useful. Let me know in the comments again, what is your plan A? What is it that you're heading towards? And feel free to send me any questions. I'll be happy to answer them in another video. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll speak soon. Bye.